Yuka hand gave my back a pat once the rather dual class discussion about carousel finished. Hey, it was nice meeting you today. Hopefully we bump into one another tomorrow. Alright. Thanks for looking out for me today, Yuko. No problem. I stick around, but I got to go and help a friend of mine with some homework that's due by tomorrow morning. All good. Did you want this back? I nod my head in thanks and offer her back the book she had lent me for class. She purses it back toward me, smiling. Keep it. I know you like it. You didn't look off from it once. And with that she goes. Luckily Eric has plopped himself down in Yuka's seat, smiling smugly. So how about I kick your butt in some video game to make up for you not telling me about my Hitler stacks? I blinked at the suggestion, but I got nothing else planned and was sort of worried I'd be spending the rest of my days up in my room doing nothing. Sure, bring it on. I grinned back, Eric, entertained by my competitive attitude. Sweet, me and Jay will be back at home base, see ya there. Elric hopped up just as quickly as he had sat down and sauntered out of the room, leaving only me and Elizabeth. I figured it's not worth trying to talk to her. She looked frustrated and exhausted, so I just gave her a friendly goodbye and left the room. I always wonder how much of a living hell it is to be a substitute teacher. If you get kids pulling pranks on you, not obeying your commands, or just generally giving you shit. Outside I find Travian standing on the deck area of the school entrance. Unsure how to really make up for our previous encounter, I decided to apologize is probably for the best options. Hey, sorry about Ella. Lost my balance when you took the door open. She gave me that same sure, sour look, like I'm a giant lemon rag creature here to be before her day. It's fine. What exactly were you getting kicked out for anyway? The sour look on her face faded, and she looked at me now with curiosity, as if I baffled that I cared. I didn't do this summer reading. Is that it? Seems a little harsh. The sour look returned to her face, and she grumbled low, so only I could hear. Well, Elizabeth is a cunt, so it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm not sure what to make of that comment, but it's probably a clue as to why she got kicked out. I'm actually enjoying the book enough to divide a bit. It's an interesting read, to say the least. Well, why not just read it? It's not half bad. I read a few pages during class. It's about a freaking monkey who talks to people with his brainwaves. It's a little bit far-fetched, sure, but it's entertaining. Taryn just looked at me for a moment and sighed, shaking her head. Whatever. I'm not reading a book about monkeys who are telepathist. I think it has a deeper meaning, but suit yourself. She seemed left on guard by my remark, perhaps not expecting it. It's probably best I get going. Ellis and Jake could be waiting. Sorry for bothering you. I nearly fell on top of you. It's okay. I'm tearing by the way. I nod my head and smile. Yuko's term to describe tearing come back to mind. I think even if I gave her the benefit of the doubt, she will still fill the role nicely. So I heard you gave one hell of a first impression, that's for sure. She just raised an eyebrow and watched me suspiciously before letting out a small breath of air from her lips. I try. You should give the book a try anyway, it was nice to meet you. Yeah, you too, smartass. It's funny her being so short and harmless looking but having such a anxiety and defensive personality to contrast her looks. I guess they balance one another out. I offer a small grin before turning and making my way down the front step, veering back toward the door. See ya. The sound of buttons and joystick being mashed and pressed fills the chill air of the lounge area. I sit beside Jay as he plays a round of a 2D fighter game with Eric, who is on the floor sitting on a few pillars. The two quickly finish the round, and with a small sign, Jay passes the controller to me, resigning his arm over his head. Man, Eric, you so cheap. Eric turns slightly to look over his shoulder and smirk at us. Not my fault you counterpicked yourself. Whatever, you only play one character, so if I really want to, I could counterpick you just as bad. Eric shorted and rolled his eye before looking back up toward the screen and looking at the same character as before. I haven't played this in forever, so sorry if I'm rusty. I'll go easy. Jay leans over and whispers into my ear, pointing at the right corner of the screen. Pick Dunk Master Funk. Alright. I cursed the scroll over each character instead of pick up Dunk Master Funk. Eric's reaction is immediately and he let out a groan of annoyance. Come on, Jay. You can't just tell him who counters me. I look in my characters and I look in my character as Jay and I share a chuckle and the match starts shortly after. As hard as Eric tries, he isn't able to beat my character due to the fact his character is ice base and mine is fire. The match ends and Eric lets out a sign, setting the controller down and slides toward Jay. Doing the last match is a draw on me. That match has been watching from behind us with a curious look on his face. I call out to him as the match between Jay and myself starts catching his attention for a short time. Hey Matt, want to play the winner? Cheer boy. Hey thrown himself up and over into the couch beside me, watching my match with Jay. I'm able to win again, not so much because I perform well, but because Jay messes up. Man, good game. He passes the controller to Matt, who takes it carefully between his hands. Give me 1 sec. Sure. I nodded and let him open the options and change a few customized buttons before both of us lock in with our character ready for the match. Within a few seconds, Matt is hyper high smashing and rolling the joystick of the controller with a thumb like an acrobat. He lands combo after combo and then uses his ultimate before I even can get a block off. Match ends with a perfect game, not taking a single point of damage and leaving me feeling like a complete idiot. God damn it. You just got knocked the fuck out. Matt cute little grin and leans back in his seat. MLG status pro 420XXX, your mom 420XXX69. What Matt said makes absolutely no sense, but I hand over the controller to Eric and squint back at the boy dressed in white beside me. I felt like I was playing against a robot. Matt turned to me and gave me a flat, emotionless look before speaking in monotone. Beep 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 bob, 6 robot, 6 robot, 6 robot, 6 robot. Right. The next match starts up and Eric meets the same fate. A perfect match once again. We look to Jay as he's our last hope for beating Matt. Unfortunately, he is unable to conquer the beast of player sitting beside me, but at the very least, he does some damage to Matt. Matt stands up and bursts his shoulder off, stretching and softly showing off. Hey, got owned, son. I ain't got time for games. He tosses the controller down to the couch and leaves without another word. He kicked our asses, man. I never thought Matt was good at anything. Well, he's good at games at least. We spent the next few hours trying our best to get better in the hope of being able to beat Matt in the future, but the quality of Matt's play style is in us ahead of what we are capable of. During the night hours, I spent my last bit of time awake in my room, flipping through the pages of the book Yuki had given me earlier. After reading through a few chapters, I set the book down on my nightstand and stare up at the ceiling in thoughts. I'm left wondering about everyone I met. Yuko and why she's so infatuated with helping me out. Trying on how she's, well, kind of a bitch, but seems sort of friendly as long as you don't step on any of her landmines. The girl at the back of the classroom. Today was interesting, but I'm sure tomorrow will bring just as many new experiences. But for now, I'll say it is time to sleep. The sound of something smashing against the wood echo into my room. I grab my phone and check the time, only to be greeted by the same noise coming from my door. Someone knocking at my door at 6:30 in the morning. I rolled out of bed with a grunk sign and scoot my feet across the floor. With a regular grab, I switched the doorknob and pulled my door open. Good morning, sunshine. Matt stands in the doorway with a cheesy grin on his face. Why are you up so early and what do you want? Well, I figure I knocked your ass in that game yesterday. I thought it would be a good gesture to show you where everyone gets their food. Besides, I need to restock my purple dark. Just so you aware, I'm not letting you use my fridge for your soda. Matt gave me a cynical look and crosses his arm. Are you sure about that? Pretty sure. We'll look at one another for a long moment before Matt finally accepts the fact he wasn't going to be able to use my fridge to store his drinks. Alright, fine, but let's hurry up. Can I at least get dressed first? No, you can't get ready at school after I get back. I signed, grabbing my phone and wallet and stuffed them in my pajamas pocket before waggling on my shoes and heading out with Mac. I feel ridiculous walking around with just my pajamas on, but luckily almost no one is out yet, and the gardens area pathway to the school are barren. We piece by the front deck of the school and venture down the drive leading to the main road. Matt blabber on about how he was able to beat us in the fighting game yesterday because of how often he played it online competitively. I really don't care. I'm far too sleepy to engage in conversation, at least with him, so I just nod my head and go on. After a short walk, we end up at the entrance of an out-of-date looking supermarket. Matt leads me inside of my eye. Matt leads me inside, and my eyes are burned by the hard glare of the fluorescent light. There's something about fluorescent light that just make me feel sick or dopey. They especially remind me of my day in the hospital during the spring. Matt, come on. Oh. He moved up against... He moved up and isolate Matt with paper bag in hand, stuffing them with different groceries, shoveling them off the shelf like snow. His items vary from box of cereal to Wayne's dressing. During his shopping spree, I managed to gather a bag of groceries, mostly basic stuff like milk, bread, and lunch meat. We meet back up at the cash register. Matt bags are separated by categories. One is filled with food and one other assortment, while another is packed with 2 little grape soda bottles. While the old lady wants his items over the scanner, Matt does a weird, unpeeling and overly recure dance, even sing along as thought he was Usher, or even worse, pretending to be Michael Jackson. Matt, got my grape thing, swag. Marcus White. I step aside over the next I step over to the next cashier, coming face to face with a red-haired woman who looked just as sleepy as I do and about my age. It's refreshing to see that I'm not the only one who didn't get enough sleep, but because he has to work, not because he has an idiot like Matt at the doormat morning. The woman at the register just smiled and bowed her head as she takes my bag of things and starts to scan the items one by one. She wearing the usual cashier style apron with her name tag embroidered onto the chest area. Jessica. Aside from her silence, the only noticeable interesting thing about her is the beauty mark that just below the corner of her right eye. Beauty marks have never really been my thing, but it looked oddly disgusting. What? Disgusting on her. Jessica, that'll be 45. Nej, det er 4. Er det ikke 30? 35, 45, 35, 63. 26, 16, 3. Whatever. 35, 63. Her voice is mature sounding compared to the voice of a kid at school. I pulled out two $20 bills from my wallet and accept my change, only to drop the coin into the tip jar before stuffing the dollar leftover back into my wallet. Jesse, oh thanks. Marcus, no problem. Once the transition is complete, I grab my things and head outside, only to find Matt with a squirrel on his face. Don't talk to her, man. What? She's a succubus, a succubus, stole a nigger's heart and then bashed it. Oh. I'm too tired to really follow what Matt is trying to say, but I guess he had a crush on her or something, and she shut him down. Sorry to hear that. Can we go back now? Fine. Stuffing each item in my fridge will be a lot easier if Matt wasn't shuffling through what I had bought. Hey man, I didn't know you like daring cheese. Dude, brain flags. Who eat brain flags? I reached over and grabbed the box of cereal from him, sitting it aside. It was the only box I saw that doesn't taste like sugary cardboards. Matt just looked at me suspiciously like I'm from another planet. That's literally the best type of cereals, if you say so. At least for the last few items might actually help, and my fridge is packed with food and drinks relatively quickly and neatly. Once I shoo him out of my room, I left with a few minutes to get myself washed and dressed. The clock strikes 8:30 a.m. and class begins. Luckily, I am already sitting at my desk beside Yuko, who seems a little absent-minded. She is not as bubbly or excited as she was yesterday. I think everyone in the room has the same mentally. It only makes me wonder how the hell Matt was so lively in the morning. Mr. Mulder even has a bit of a sleepy haze to his mood, and his lecture today is a lot less interactive and eye-opening. The time passes slowly, but eventually he ends his lecture and claps his hands together. Alright, for the group project this semester I'll be preparing each of you into a group of 2. Yuka and Piper, Eric and Clyder, Sonia and Salix, Alex and Case, Marcus and Ellen. Mr. Malloy continued to list names of group of 2 people he paired us up for a group project. I lean over and whisper to Yuka silently, and Marcus drone on with people's names. Who and where is Ellen? She's the girl sitting in the very back near Mr. Miller's desk. Yuka pursed his lips for a moment and smiled slightly. Good luck, you need it. What's that supposed to mean? She's a shy one. Yuka gestured her partner over to the table while sitting to replace my seat once I move. I take my leave and make my way over to the empty seat, the back of the room beside Ellen. I glance down at the girl assigned to be my partner, and while I do want to say hello and her gaze is elsewhere. He's staring off at something outside, and I don't want to disturb her from whatever is so interesting or make her think awkward, so I just sit down beside her. During the first few moments, while Mr. Muller finishes his instructions for the whole project, she doesn't even acknowledge my existence. The project is so short, and is a research paper about history, repeating itself in any way due on Monday or next week. Adding on top of the work, the group must make a 5-minute presentation in front of the class using situation from the paper. The class slightly goes to work after Mallet excuses himself from the room, leaving me to sit beside this Ellen girl with no idea of where to start. I peer down at her, trapping my fingers lightly against the table out of nervous energy. They purely catch her attention. She stares at me for a moment with this frightened, nervous smile on her face, only to glance back out the window. Great. I'm sure she's super excited about being my partner. Either way, if you just sit here and mope around, nothing will get done. Hey, so any idea as what you might want to do for the paper? She looked back toward me, remaining voiceless even still. You can maybe be right about needing some luck with this situation. Anything? I don't know. She says this is such a quiet voice, it hardly audible over the sound of our classmates in the background. Well, what you ain't thinking? Not very much. Well, that's helpful. History, arc, math, anything at all. She closes eyes seem to be badly annoying me now. Eventually she opened them, and only to look anywhere aside from me until there's nothing new aside from my eyes. Her eyes glimmer with a childish innocence, and her cheeks are stained in a blush of embarrassment. I like piano. Just piano. She gave a subtle nod that's both unconvincing and enduring. She reminds me of a puppy in a window that is exhausted looking out at the passing world. I also notice she keeps getting either flattering out something on her uniform or tucking her sleeve down to cover her small pale fingers. I fold my hand onto the table, trying to blot away be able to make her fascination of piano into research paper, if that even is possible. A few minutes of awkward silence passes, and eventually I'm able to come up with a basic idea. Now the challenge is seen if Ellen likes it. I glance back toward Ellen, only to find her looking out of the window wistfully once more. Her nervous and compulsive habits make me think she must not be someone who enjoys crowds or social interaction in a group setting, let alone one-on-one scene, as how much of a challenge this is. Hey, Ellen, what? She peeked back up at me at the mention of her name, and her cheek flushed a little bit darker, as if her name is something she isn't used to hearing. Yeah. She parts her lips slightly as if she were going to continue, but her eyes fell down to the table in front of us, and she goes quiet again. Well, first up, it's nice to meet you. Her likely hush green eye jitter values at what to say. I feel like I might have frightened her by just being polite. She swallowed down her anxiety, and small mouse-like voice once again peep out. You too, Marcus. Something about the fact she remember my name makes me smile, and as I react, and a reaction she blushes even darker. In a way, I feel sort of bad and guilty for making her blush so much, but it's not my fault. She is skittish.